Good evening. Welcome to the 12-Man podcast. That's sounding quite formal, isn't it? Live on Facebook and YouTube. I know. Facebook, YouTube. You can tell it's not scripted. All your popular platforms for listening to podcasts. Got me, Steve Jackson. I'm your host for the evening. Got Mr. John Donovan with us. Evening, JD.
Good evening. Very pleasant to talk to you tonight.
I wish I could swear right now. Are you okay?
Yeah, all good, thanks.
Good, spiffing. Got Mr. Jacob Jervis with us as well. Evening, Jacob.
Evening, you okay?
Good, you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. Moving at number 10 yet?
College first.
College first. There you go. I'll start somewhere. And also, we've got a guest tonight. I think he's gone more viral than I've ever seen anyone go this weekend. The amount of videos I've seen, not just from Borough fans, from Fulham fans, and he's not the most famous jammer that's on the box anymore. So, Mr. Yusuf Jammer's with us. Evening, Yusuf.
Good evening, guys. How you doing? All good?
Yeah, good. Are you?
Yeah, very well. Thanks. Can't complain.
Good.
Yeah, Yusuf's got a fantastic Premiership following now. You know, he'll be selling merch soon at the match.
Thought about that, mate.
Hey, don't be selling merch. That's our rule. Right. So we'll talk about the FA Cup tie. Obviously at Fulham. Big Fulham went down to the capital, to Craven Cottage. Made the long trip down south. Yusuf didn't. He had the short trip for once. We'll talk about our new signing. If you haven't seen who that is, we'll talk about him a little bit later. And we'll preview the game on Friday night. Back to league action for the Borough as we play West Bromwich Albion on Sky. The start of our Sky games. If you haven't seen our fixtures, go see them. They're an absolute joke, to be fair. But before we start on that, are we all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Good. Right. JJ, I'll start with you. What time did you set off on Saturday morning?
Well, our coach left. We're at the last pickup point in Middlesbrough. The lads who get picked up at Billingham and Stockton, they're slightly earlier than us, but the bus left at 6:30. So I mean, I was up at 5:15, something like that, to get myself ready. So yeah, no doubt Jacob, who got on at Billingham, would have been up. Probably didn't go to bed anyway. I don't know, but yeah, them poor lads have an early start. It's a longer day for them because they get picked up first and dropped off last. So I feel sorry for them. But yeah, it was an early start. But yeah, we had a good run down there. It was all right. It was good.
Good. Yeah, he probably didn't go to bed. He probably had 3 sugars instead of 2 in his tea. Bless him. No,
two cans of Monster.
No, you are really pushing the ball out. Right. The reason I ask, because obviously our guest, Yusuf, he makes the trip up from London to the Riverside most weeks. What time did you set off, Yusuf?
Felt weird on a match day. I was literally still at home at like 11, 11:15, half 11. So it felt really, really weird. So yeah. But yeah, it didn't feel like a match day. I was literally at the ground by like 12:30. So it was incredible.
There you go.
It was that local for him. He had a bag of shopping with him.
Oh wow!
Hey, Don, the story from Fulham away one year. I went to when you walk back onto the main road where all the coaches are all parked. It was before the game. One year I was there. I went to the little Tesco Express, which was a bit further down, and saw Johnny Rotten doing his shopping. How weird
is that genuine?
I swear to God, on my life.
Oh, fantastic.
I couldn't believe what I was saying. It was literally as we took the walk down from obviously all the pubs and stuff at the top of where the roundabout is at the top, where the Temperance is and stuff like that. And I was walking down. I thought I need to pop into Tesco. I needed something. I might need to got a cash point or something. It was back in the days where you could actually use cash. And Johnny Rotten walked past me with a bag of shopping. I went, well,
rock and roll, huh?
If only Steve and Kev seen off the bus, imagine that.
Yeah, they'd have loved that, wouldn't they? Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't believe what I was saying. I was like, is that really him? Then I saw it. He had weird coloured hair, and I thought, yeah, it must be him. There's no other way that can't be him. So there you go.
What Jacob's talking about, the two lads on the bus, they sing the full lyrics to a couple of Sex Pistols songs. Yeah, they'd have been over the moon to see him.
I'm fully aware of the musical talents that is Steve and Kev Donnelly. Yes, I absolutely am aware of them too. Good to see they're still going strong. But right, let's get back on track. Anyway, enough celeb spotting. That's Yusuf's thing, not mine. I'll go straight into the game. Obviously, you said you had a good rundown, etc. The team came out, John. We spoke about this last week. Do we take the Cup series? Do we not take the Cup series? Do we make the change or not? Fair play to Kim Helberg. He went straight in with his full strength team to show respect to the competition, the opponent, and to the over 4,500 fans that went down there as well.
Yeah. Very strong team. It surprised me a little. I expected maybe 1 or 2 changes, but it was a really strong team, strong lineup. He did go for it, and as we'll discuss, it was a good go as well. We took to Fulham.
It was really good. I was surprised when I saw the team come out. I thought fair play, because Fulham did make a few changes, but I did expect. They brought in their fringe players, which, as we'll go into, Marco Silva did kind of regret. But Jacob, were you happy with that team?
Only person I wouldn't have played was Gilbert, but apart from that, it wasn't a bad team.
Any reason why?
League One player for me. I said that last week, but
he's a delight, isn't he? Fair enough. No, that's fair. I mean, I've got some opinions on Bergzorg when we go into it later, so we'll go through all that. But Yusuf, what was your opinion on the team? Were you surprised by the strength of the Borough?
Yeah, I was. Obviously, especially with the list of injuries that we've got at the moment. I thought we wouldn't want to risk, the likes of Hackney and players like that. But yeah, he went for it, and I listened to his press conference before the game, and he explained that he was going to play his strongest 11 because the following game is going to be West Brom away on the Friday night. So if he didn't, then from Southampton at home to West Brom away, it would have been like nearly 2 weeks of like not playing football. And then he explained that it could have caused a bit of a longer term damage rather than sort of picking the strongest 11. So yeah, fair play to him. He picked strongest 11, and yeah, we competed very well.
Yeah, no, it was fair play. I mean, he did have a few fringe players on the bench, etc. But strength wise, that 11, I couldn't pick a problem with that. Obviously, Jacob did straight away when he said Gilbert, but never mind. But we live with it. But we'll dive into the game, JD. I know we did score eventually, half an hour in, but for the first half an hour, I know Fulham had a couple of chances, but we were pretty dominant. We should have scored. I think we had our first chance with Conway literally within the first 90 seconds.
Yeah, we did. We started off really well, and the way we were sort of keeping the ball and crisp, quick, accurate passes to move the ball quickly. We looked very, very impressive. We looked the Premier League team, especially in the first half. And you're right, we created some good chances. Their keeper had to be smart a couple of times. I mean, I can't remember Solbrin doing a great deal in the first half. I know that from a corner, Ayling managed to clear it off the line, but I can't remember Solbrin being called into too much action. So yeah, it was a good, strong first half for us.
No, it was a really, really strong first half, and then the goal itself, Yusuf, beautiful build-up play on the right-hand side, and then Hackney, obviously, with the tapping at the front post. Obviously, it's been a while since me and you spoke. Obviously, my fault. Obviously, being stuck in the middle of a car crash, my bad. What have you made of Hackney's season? Obviously, people have raved so much about Hackney. I said, me included. I say I'm a massive fan of Hayden, red clad and all that. we've got to stick together. He's been fantastic. People say he's looking for the big move, and he's really not. What have you made of his season so far?
Yeah, he's had a brilliant season. I think he's added end product to his game this season. He's got a few goals, which I think's the making of a top midfield player. But yeah, I think what I've been really pleased with is his consistency. I know he still does a few silly things, like the red card that wasn't a red card tackle, but he's had a fantastic season. He really, really has, and I think long may that continue. And I think if we're going to get promoted, we're going to need Hayden Hackney to be at his best form. But yeah, he's been terrific, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. He's got to be at his best, but the best thing is he's been allowed to have that free role to go and put that end product on his game as well, because you've got Morris and you've got Brown. He'll sit in that role behind him and just keep that back line well regimented and well protected as well. So he's been given the freedom to go forward a little bit more. I think that's probably helped him, because he's always expressed he's a box to box midfielder, and he likes to get involved in the upper end of the pitch as well. So it's really good. It was but yeah, JD, it was a good finish from the young lad. It's a great ball in from Sammy, and nice little flick at the front post.
Well, it was a great move. We kept the ball well. We moved it, waited for the opportunity, and then included in the build-up was a back heel, a nutmeg, and Hackney got in front of the defender. I mean, Jacob said it last week about Tommy Conway, or anybody for that matter, trying to score, try and get in front of the defender, not expect the ball to come beyond the defence, just try and get in front, and that's what Hayden Hackney did. Tommy Conway done it early on in the half as well, from a cross. I think it was again from Silvera, and he made the keeper pull off a smart save with his legs. But yeah, a great goal, a good team goal, and like I say, a bit of a flash of Latin American style back heel and nutmeg, and yeah. It sent the fans crazy. And to be honest, sometimes you take a massive following away to games, and it feels as though the atmosphere isn't quite there.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case on Saturday. Saturday, I think, was brilliant, orchestrated by Yusuf at the front, of course, but it was absolutely superb. Even as Fulham were sort of like equalising and then scored again, the Borough fans just sort of stood up and got behind the team again. I think everybody was so proud of the way we played. It was a great atmosphere.
It was. I mean, I got the pleasure of watching it at home again. Sick of watching it at home, Mark. I hate it. I will be back soon, I promise. But there's a lot of videos as well, obviously going around online. Obviously, people are pointing the camera at Yusuf, orchestrating it from the front, and people around the capital as well, fans from the lower leagues down, we used it as a chance to go to a different football game. A few said they haven't beat Craven Cottage before, so using it as a chance to go and tick it off. And each one of them were very complimentary about how good the Borough fans were, how loud they were, the size of following that we took. Obviously, to us, it's no surprise. We see it everywhere that we go around the country. We've always had a good following, but they were surprised by how big the following was and how good Borough were. They said the difference in quality from Premier League to Championship wasn't anything for the first 70 minutes, and I felt that was pretty fair. Jacob, what did you feel about I know obviously Fulham made changes. I fully get that, but the players they brought in, there were still, some of them were still international players. There was still a good squad of players that they brought in.
Yeah. I was impressed with the team. Was very happy with the performance. It was very brave, quite an aggressive performance in terms of pressing them. You did see a lot of the time where someone would trigger it and everybody moved 5 yards up the pitch. Especially first half, we seemed to trap them. In areas which made them uncomfortable. He was a lot more aggressive than I would have been, so fair play to him, and it worked. It wasn't like blind aggression where we're were getting picked apart. I think the first half we probably edged it in terms of control. Like you said, they brought on their better players. That made the difference. Again, the only thing you could maybe say is that aggression sometimes is hard to match when you come on. So the subs we made maybe didn't match the tempo of the game because it was quite a quick game. And again, to play relentlessly and be aggressive for 90 minutes is difficult, especially with a Premier League team. So maybe it was better to sit 5 yards deeper in the last 20 minutes. But again, that you wouldn't be saying that if we come away and won the game. So, hindsight's, a great thing. But I think on the whole that there's 10 times more positives to take out of it than negatives. But I think it did highlight the difference in finishing from the Premier League and the Championship. I mean, Whittaker's has had a good season, but you have to score that opportunity at 2-1 to level the game back up, and this isn't a criticism of them. There's a reason they're playing for Middlesbrough in the Championship. They're not quite there yet in terms of being the league above. There's nothing wrong with that. We all knew what type of players they are. And in terms of how Wilson's finished, that's the difference in quality. And if there's one lesson the team will take from the game, if they do end up going up next season, is that you can't give good players that much time on the ball. For their 3 goals, they were given too much time to find the pass or find the shots, and I think that was the only difference, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say there was definite differences there. I mean, in the Championship, you can have your 3 or 4 or 5 chances and not be punished for not putting them away. In that sort of game, it was the fine margins we were punished. So the difference in finishing, like you rightly said, Harris Wilson's finish was quality. Same with Emil Smith-Rowe. They said the touch he took in the box to take it away from, I think it was Luke Ayling in the box, and then took it in the bottom corner. It's Premier League class. And then you compare that to the other end. Obviously, Whittaker, like you said, had his chance at 2-1. At 1-1, Conway had his chance, hit the bar. I know Jacob's just giving me the eye, so I'm not going to come to you about that one, don't worry. Yeah, there's small differences. If Conway puts that away, makes it 2-1, it makes it a different game again. If Whittaker brings it back to 2-2, it's a different game again. I don't know how you felt, JD, when I've seen this a few times being mentioned. I do want to bring this up to you three, see what you think. I did feel when it got to 1-1, 2-1, and we started not running out of legs. It's they started to. You could see where the difference in fitness and pace was from the Championship to the Premier League. I did feel like we stepped it off a bit and went, right, okay, we've had a good goal, but maybe this is a bridge too far for now, but there's nothing wrong with what we've done. Yeah,
I mean, let's face it, Fulham are a decent Premier League team, I mean, recently beaten Chelsea. They've got some great players. I thought the difference was that they were physically stronger than us. I mean, you look at Premier League games, and there's so much power and so much pace. I just thought they were stronger than us. They have a little bit of extra quality, and to be honest, at times I am going to moan about the referee. Sorry, yeah, they just got the Premiership bias when it comes to shall I say, innocuous challenges. That they seem to get the benefit of the doubt all the time. But I suppose we do that when we play. I mean, we've done that Port Vale, Exeter when we were on our run in the Carabao Cup. The bigger teams get looked upon a little bit more favourably. But yeah, there is a gulf in quality. But for me, it's more about the power, the strength, physicality, and the pace of every Premier League team that we have got to adjust to if we go up in May, and we want to stay there. You know, we've got to improve that part of our playing type, so to speak. You know, we need to be physically stronger, because it's all over the Championship. Every team's got it. You see, the players seem so much bigger, so much taller. Yeah, it's something that we need to address to should we go up to stay in that division. But yeah, we coped very well. Like you said at the beginning of this podcast last week, we just said, you know, show the competition respect, give it our best shot, and you know, we hope that we don't get we hope we don't get a pasting. But it wasn't to be. I thought, you know, for an hour, we played particularly well. We had chances to get back into the game when we were 2-1 down, with Whittaker's good chance at 1-1, like you say. Conway beat the keeper. The keeper was nowhere near Conway's shot, but unfortunately it was just a few inches too high. So yeah, we troubled them, and that's why I think their manager brought his big hitters on, Robinson, the goal scorer, Wilson, the Portuguese striker, what's his name?
Oh, Jimenez.
That's him. Yeah, and Robinson, he brought on those players to win the tie, and they managed to do so. But we were by no means embarrassed or we were on top for long spells. We weren't hanging on. We weren't hanging on. I mean, yeah, we done ourselves proud, I thought.
Yeah, he's Mexican, but I'll let you off. It's all right.
Oh, is he? Sorry.
But no, you're absolutely right. That's what he took, and Marco Silva alluded to that in his press conference after the game. He did say that you know, the strength about the strength and depth that he had in the squad, and he was happy he was able to bring them players on, and he gave a lot of respect to Middlesbrough. You know, a lot of people did, a lot of the media, a lot of the Fulham fans were saying that you know, we're not far off a Premier League team waiting to happen. You know, we were just about there with, you know, matching them toe to toe with everything we had in the first 60, 70 minutes. But like you said, as soon as they start bringing the quality off the bench, that's where the difference starts coming in. And I'm glad you brought up the physicality as well. One thing that did make me giggle in the first half, Melander took the ball out of the defence, took on 2 or 3, and Adama floored him. Like, he just nudged him and he floored him, and I thought, Jesus. I forgot how big Adama is when you see him, and that is, like you said, that is the difference, because even Adama gets floored in the Premier League by players, you know, when he's in 50-50. So that is the difference. That you said, the physicality, the pace, because I say especially the third goal, because the passing for the third goal was a bit quick. I thought we just looked a bit lost, unfortunately, but. That's not me kicking the players at all for what they did. I thought we played really, really well. Pellberg said that as well. So I was really, really happy with how it. Obviously, the result wasn't a positive, but the performance was. So we can definitely take that into the remaining 20 games we've got left of this season. So I was really, really happy. But yeah,
and that's it. That's it, Steve. You know, Five teams out the top 6 in the Championship are all out the competition now. So, you know, they've got, like you say, 20-odd games now to concentrate on their goal, which is ours also, is to get promoted. So we can give it a bloody good shot. We've got no distractions. Ipswich were the only ones to go through. And they're already a game behind. So it might come later on in the season where they've got to cram games in, and it might play into our hands. It might be favourable to us. I wanted to go through. I wanted to hear our name in that draw tonight, but I've got no real problem with us now saying, right, we give it a good go, and we've got the championship now to fully concentrate on.
Exactly. Like we always say, there's always next year, because there's always next year. So we'll have another go next year. But no, you're absolutely right. We didn't disgrace ourselves. We didn't embarrass ourselves. We put in a really good performance. And end of the day, when you look at it, Fulham, like you said, they were kicking the top 10 last year in the Premier League. They've kicked on massively from when we played them in the Championship a few years ago. So they're exactly what we should be aiming for when we get promoted. That's what we should be aiming to be doing. They're the example to us. So that's what we should be looking at going forward. So yeah, fair play to them. I say they got through to the fourth round. Do you want to know who we missed out on getting in the fourth round?
Yeah, because obviously I don't know about the other lads, but I haven't seen the draw. So yeah, give us the highlights.
We would have got Stoke away.
Right, no problem.
Everyone, if you pull the face there, that says it all for me. So there you go. That's the way to got Stoke away. So we didn't really miss out on much. So let's say, like you said, John, the draw was done just before we started recording and putting this out. Big highlights were I'm just looking down. Wigan got Arsenal away. I say that's a highlight. Chelsea got Hull. Burton have got West Ham at home. That could be one to keep an eye on. I say West Ham look horrendous. Mansfield got Burnley. Wolves got a Grimsby. I'd say Grimsby beat Western Supermare 3-2 on Saturday night. Manchester City have either got Salford or Swindon. And Macclesfield, the biggest shock in the FA Cup ever. I've got Brentford at home. There you go. That's the fourth round draw. Apart from that, Premier League teams got Premier League teams, Championship. So yeah, they're the highlights from the draw. So yeah, we didn't really miss out on much. Stoke away, I'm not really bothered about that. We've got Stoke away in a few weeks, so it doesn't really mean much. So, so before we start talking about new signings, potential ins, potential outs, I just need to man the match off, all three of you. I'll start with you, Yusuf. Man of the match for Saturday.
Man of the match. I think now, yeah. Quite a few players played quite well, I think. But if I had to have a standout, probably I'll give it to Luke Ayling. I thought he was really, really good at the back. And yeah, he summed up our defensive performance. I don't think he could have done much about the goals. But I'd give it to Luke Ayling.
Yeah, he played well. I'll disagree about one of the goals. I thought he was completely out of position, but never mind. Jacob, come to you.
I'll give it to Morris. I think Morris was pretty good at receiving the ball. Didn't play too many wayward passes. Was one of the, like I said, he had the pressure and responsibility dropping in off goal kicks and carrying the ball and finding them forward passes. And I think he made it look pretty easy. To be fair to him, probably closely followed up by Silvera. To be fair to him, I thought he had a really good game.
JD?
Yeah, a few candidates, I suppose. Ayling, Whittaker. I thought Whittaker had a good game. Silvera, Morris. Yeah, they've been mentioned, but I'll agree with Yusuf, and I thought Luke Ayling. Yeah, he had a great game. I don't know how he keeps going. I'd love to know what his diet is, and what gives him so much energy for all these tough games week after week. He just keeps on going. So Luke Ayling was my man of the match.
Get in touch with some of your contacts, see if we can get him on, have a chat with us about nutrition. See if we can give some advice. Man of the match was Hayden Hackney. I thought Hackney was brilliant. Middle of the park again. put in a proper captain's performance again. Just looks. I thought if it was a game where to see if he was ready for the Premier League, I thought it'd be Saturday, and he just looked comfortable. He just looked really comfortable. He didn't look out of his depth playing against their midfield. I'm not saying it's their full strength midfield, but there was still some decent players they had in midfield. So, and he dealt with it really well. He didn't look overawed. He didn't look out of place, out of his depth. So, yeah, I thought I did think Luke Ayling was good. I did think Silva was really good. I thought he was really good on the right hand side, debutising for Callum Britton. Obviously, we'll talk about him in a little bit. Along with all the other injury news as well. But yeah, I thought Hayden Hackley was brilliant. So, yeah, there you go. There's Fulham. There's our FA Cup done. Don't have to talk about the FA Cup anymore now. Right. Before the game on Saturday, we did get a new signing. Through the door, first one of the window. Leo Castledine on a permanent from Chelsea. He's been on loan at Huddersfield for the first part of this season. Borough fans did see him play against us in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. He did come on for the last 5 minutes. I didn't see him because I was gone back then. I was too busy arguing to get my flag back. But never mind. So Borough fans have seen him before, but he did make the permanent move from Chelsea. Apart from them facts, JD, you heard much about him?
No, obviously I had heard that we were interested at the beginning, back end of last month, the beginning of this month, when the rumours firmed up. No, I can't remember him coming on in that second leg of the Carabao Cup. If I'm honest, I probably was not taking a great deal of notice with us being 6-1 down at the time. But he's had a good season with Huddersfield. I've seen the clips of his goals and of his play, and it looks promising. A young lad, 20. I can't believe that we've got him for such a paltry sum. If I'm honest, I know they've got a large sell-on fee, which tends to be the norm now in current day transfer activity. But as long as he does the business for us, I don't mind giving Chelsea 20% of whatever we make if he does move on. So yeah, it's I'm not sure whether it's a signing for right now. I don't know whether he'll come into the team. That remains to be seen. But it looks like he's got bags of potential. So yeah, I thought it excited me getting him through the door quite early in January. He's obviously available Friday, so yeah, it excites me.
Yeah, he's had a really successful start this season at Huddersfield. 12 goals in 27 appearances for them this season in all competitions. Looks to be one of the players that can play along the line behind the striker, either play behind the striker or on either wing. Obviously, with yourself being based down there, Yusuf, obviously him being a Chelsea boy, did you hear much about him before he signed for the Borough?
Not particularly, no. I think he had a loan spell. I think it was at Shrewsbury, last year. I think it was Shrewsbury or another club. And then obviously Huddersfield this year. But yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't heard much about him, to be honest.
Nice, short and sweet. There you go.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fine. Jacob, this one has been labelled as. I mean, I know JD mentioned there he doesn't know if he's going to come into the squad straight away or if it's going to be one that we're going to use down the line. But some have mentioned that this could be a potential for someone that's going to be like a bit of a backup for Riley McGree when he eventually comes back. What's your thoughts on the signing?
Yeah, I think it's good. He's got a decent goal tally for Huddersfield. I know it's League One, but hopefully confidence translates, and I think most people who score goals can score goals at different levels. So I'm hoping he can make the step up to the Championship. At least he was playing at the top end of League One and not the bottom end of it. So it should be a bit easier for him. Very good on Football Manager, so that always helps. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how good he is in real life.
Yeah, I've got to admit that's how I've heard of him. I've heard of him through Footy Manager. He's one of those ones that you pick up for the future. So no, it's good that we've got one through the door. Obviously, there's rumours going about trying to get in a few more. So we'll see what the month brings. But back to incomings, there's been mention of a couple of, well, at least one potential outgoing. JD, you mentioned this one to us about Delano Bergzorg. There's a lot of chat about him being linked to Bristol City, not just from one source. But a few mentioned it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be one that you think is he one of those players that you could see potentially making that move out the door in January?
Yeah. I mean, I also think a transfer window gives you an opportunity to increase your squad with quality, and you can, if it's possible, move on those players who aren't really hitting the spot. As long as you finish the month with a stronger squad than what you started, then it's a success to me. And Delano Bergzorg is one of those players who I don't think there'll be a lot of Borough fans hugely disappointed if he was to move on. He comes on in games, or he starts games, and doesn't stand out. Like I say, if he moves on, I'll wish him well, but I won't be heartbroken over it. I won't be disappointed. Like I say, it's about taking this opportunity in January now to improve our squad, to keep us where we are in the league, at least, or even try to climb to the summit. So it's an important January window, and if that means we lose some players to allow us to improve our squad by bringing in others, then if Delano goes, wish him well. But yeah, needs must.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wish Dally was on. I'd love to hear Dally's opinion on him. He's got a right opinion on Delano Bergzorg. But no, I'm with you. The words "flatter to deceive" come to mind with Bergzorg. There's potentially something there, but we just haven't seen it, unfortunately. He's flickered a few times to show the potential, but at times he really hasn't.
Yeah, he does things that you think, wow, that's good, and then he'll follow that up by just either losing the ball, falling over, or just messing it up, and I think that's a bit of a flaw. He can do clever things. He's skillful, but then he doesn't sort of back it up. He doesn't follow it through. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not his biggest fan. He's a squad player, and he's been useful to us. But if we can get some money off him from Bristol City to allow us to do a bit more business in the January transfer window, great.
Yeah, he reminds me of a young lad when he learns a trick. He's like, "Oh, I want to do that again." And the prime example I always think of is we played Preston away a couple of seasons ago, and he got in on goal, and he squared the defender up, and he rolled his foot over the ball, and completely went round him. And all he had to do was stop the ball in the net. That's all he had to do. But then he did it again. He'd already scored a goal in that game. Then he did it again, and I thought, you didn't need to do that. It's like, I've just done that, but if you want to see it again, I'm going to do it again for you. I don't need to see it again. I just needed to do something. There's just something there, but and the amount of times he gets caught offside as well, I swear. It's prime Leroy Lita. The amount of times that he was kept offside as well. Yeah, it wasn't brilliant. And one other, it's not really a transfer story, but it's something that caught my eye when I was on social media today. Have any of you seen the story online about Sonja Hansen?
Yeah.
There was rumours before that he's got a bit of an attitude problem at previous clubs, and that's why he's not quite made the step in his potential. Because he's got potential, there's something there, and it's always puzzled me why he's not quite got into the squad. Whether it be under the previous manager, whether it be under Kim Hellberg, and then he puts out that thing on Instagram where he just puts like a black and white picture and free. Like, what's he imply? Is he wanting to go? Is he going? I'm not a fan of. I mean, there's free speech and people can put whatever they want on online, and people have got opinions. I'm sure we've all thought that about work ourselves, thinking, "Oh God, I wish I had another job." But we don't have many thousands of people watching us, or people supporting us when they're doing that job. You know what I mean? I don't have 30,000 people sat behind me when I'm trying to sort out a repair for work. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. It's not the greatest image to have, is it, John? When you see a player doing that, and when you see the stories of has he got a potential attitude problem, he's not exactly brushing them stories away by putting stuff like that when he's on social media.
Well, I just didn't understand what it was about. And then obviously reading people's responses to it, everybody was going on about the player's attitude and that's why he's not getting the game time because of it. But you don't know. It's social media. I mean, there's that much untruth out there. I just don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I
love how you said untruth when you were trying to say bull.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It was a very cryptic message, wasn't it? It was, it could mean so many things. Obviously, we don't know what it means. But maybe it does relate to why he's not been getting into the squad, why he's not been getting the minutes that he feels he deserves. I don't know, but just want to keep an eye on. I thought I've seen it today. I thought I've got to bring that up as a potential talking point as well. So yeah. So there you go. There's your transfer talk. Before we move on, before we start talking about West Brom, we're going to have a quick chat with Yusuf because I haven't spoken to you all season. That's all. What have you made of Borough's season so far? Obviously, we've gone our second manager. We're second in the league, which no one expected. We're 6 points behind Coventry. We've gone from not scoring in 4 to scoring 4 in 25 minutes in the league. Still very inconsistent at times for me, but we look miles better than we did last season. What have you made of our season so far?
Yeah, I mean, you've summed it up. Honestly, we've had a fantastic season, all things considered. I think if you look back in June, we didn't have a manager. There was no signings. Things weren't looking sort of good. Then we got the manager in that people weren't particularly keen on. No signings for a number of weeks. And yeah, it was probably the lowest that Borough fans have been since we got relegated, I'd say, from the Premier League. 2016-2017 season. There's a lot of sort of question marks, but the recruitment's been outstanding. I thought Callum Britton has been, I mean, wow, he's proven in my eyes to be the best right back in the division. I don't think there's a better right back than him. I know there's the Coventry right back who's quite good as well, but for me, Callum Britton, superb. Alfie Jones has come in at the back as well. He's been a fantastic addition too. So I think recruitment-wise, we've been really, really good. And yeah, it's a very poor division. You have to also say the Championship very, very poor. The relegated teams from the Prem, Leicester and Ipswich and Southampton aren't really, flying all cylinders or whatnot. So if there was a chance to get promoted, this is as good as a chance we're gonna get, because if we don't, there's going to be at least one team that gets promoted that we're going to think, how have they got promoted? So yeah, January's a big month. I think we need to really, really go for it. A bit like we did when Aitor got us up sort of 10 years ago now, bringing in sort of Gaston Ramirez, Jordan Rhodes, Richard Delat as well. So if we can have a transfer window like that, I'll be very, very pleased. So yeah, it's been a honestly fantastic season, and yeah, long, 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 long may it continue.
There you go. And you can tell you listen to our podcast because we mentioned it all them names last week as well. To be fair, we did say that we haven't had a real go since the year we did go up in 2016. And when it comes to a January transfer window, even the Premier League season we were there, we didn't really have a go in January. Anybody comes on and comments on YouTube or whatever and says, "Well, we got Rudy Castell," I swear I got to block you. I'm not even joking. I'll just block you. Like, I'm not having you at all. So yeah, it's now or never kind of thing. If you're going to have a go, you've got to have a go this year. Like, I just can't. Yeah, I can't see any other reason why we shouldn't be having a go. It's our biggest chance. There's teams behind us that you wouldn't expect to be there. You've got your Prestons, your Bristol Cities, Hull, Watford, Wrexham aren't far away from it all. We've got to flex our muscle. We've got to give it a right go, and see what we can do. So, yeah. And you did mention January, Yusuf. Obviously, to have a go. Is this a month where we've got to consolidate what we've got as well? Keep what we have. I'm looking at players like Hayden Hackney. There's already been questions about Alison Melander as well. I say clubs came in even before he made an appearance for the Borough. We've got to keep our big hitters as well, haven't we? Just to make sure that we've got enough going into them last 20 games.
Yeah, I've always said it's really important that you keep your best players, but you also keep your best players fit as well. I think, unfortunately, last January we got rid of Latte Lat, and then Ben Doak got injured as well. So that was a very difficult month for us. So if we can avoid either of those scenarios where we sell one of our better players, or we get one of our better players getting a long-term injury, then that would obviously be great. So yeah, January is obviously a big month. So fingers crossed we can keep, like you said, Hayden Hackney and Melander and some of our better players.
I don't think the fans would forgive the club if we were to sell one of our top performers. Honestly, we spoke about the chance we've got this season of really going back up to the Premier League, and if we were to accept bids for like Hayden Hackney in particular, then I don't know. I think the fans would be up in arms about it, and rightly so. We fell foul of that previous years, losing key players at important times. Yeah, the fans wouldn't put up with it this time, because we haven't been as close as this since 16, 17, since 15, 16. So yeah, I can't see it happening. The only thing I can see is if we get a ridiculous amount of money offered, then that might waver the hierarchy. But I still don't think the fans would accept it.
No, I don't either. I think it's going to take a lot for Gibbo and Bowser to say, right, take the offer. It's going to take a lot of money to do that. So I can't see us doing that. I think for what the first time in a long while, I think we're all aligned as fans, as a club. as a hierarchy, nothing seems out of place. We all know this is a chance. This is a big chance. And we've got to grab it with both hands. We really do.
Well, you saw.
Really
You've seen how well we're playing. You saw how well we played on Saturday, and that's with a few key players missing. We've got McGree missing. We have Alfie Jones out, Britton out, Dale Fry. I know he came on briefly on Saturday, but we're doing well with a patched up team, and we're playing good football. This is a great chance we've got. Great chance.
Huge chance. And that chance starts on Friday. Continues on Friday. So I'm looking at the next 20 games as this is the block of 20 where it really does matter. I always feel when you move on from the third round of the cup, it's them block of games up until the international break. If you're still in with a shout, then you really are in with a shot. So it all starts on Friday. Trip to the Hawthorns, the first of many games that have been moved by Sky. Make the trip to West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion, who just brought in a new manager after sacking Ryan Mason following their defeat at Leicester last Monday night. They brought in Eric Ramsey, who was a former Man United coach. Sounds a bit weird. Sounds like they're copying what we did with Michael Carrick. Never mind. Actually, before I mention that, isn't it? What is all making of Michael Carrick now being lined up? It looks pretty head on now that he's going to be an interim manager for Manchester United for the rest of the season. I still can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around a big club like Manchester United, because they still are a big club, having to go down that sort of path. I really can't get my head around it.
But the scrutiny and the pressure will be absolutely immense.
Yeah.
Listen, see how he goes. I've got no ill feeling against him.
No.
Man United isn't a club that I either love or hate, so it'll be interesting to watch without any emotional tie.
It's gonna be weird. He's got to go in there ready. I know he's done it for a couple of games previously, but when the pressure gets ramped up, because they're going for Champions League football still this season. They're out of both cup competitions. They've got no chance of a trophy this season. Let's say if he's not in position in April to get them into the top 5, top 4, whatever it is these days, he can't do what he did at Borough and just go, well, we'll just have a go in the next game, or we did all right, or he's got to live with that pressure. Really
I'm not sure what Jacob's take will be on it like, but what's your thoughts, mate?
Well, I mean, just from the United point of view, obviously, I know we're not really to talk about United, but they're nearly half a season left, and like you said, they're 6th in the league, not even that close off the Champions League. So the idea that they'd sack a manager with no experienced manager lined up is crazy. Carrick's clearly not getting the job on merit. It's that he was a good player for them. And if he takes in Jonathan Woodgate, then Christ, I mean, he's certainly not getting the job on merit either, because everywhere he's been as a coach, he's failed miserably. So I wouldn't be very hopeful if I was a United fan with them two in charge. And if they get top 4, then I'll make a serious donation to charity at the end of this.
Well, you've said it now. It's all over online now, so you've got to do it. But yeah, I saw the stories about Woodgate potentially joining his backroom staff as well, and I just thought, Christ, yeah. If that's what Manchester United want to do, that's what Manchester United want to do. I don't follow them, don't support them, don't care about them. I just thought, it's relatable. A bit of a weird appointment by United, but there you go. But yeah, I'm with Jacob. We should have had someone lined up if you're going to get rid of Ruben Amorim, but never mind. But moving back to where we are, it's a Friday night, John. Hawthorns. It's one of my favourite grounds. I love going to the Hawthorns. The only bit I don't like is when you park up and you have to walk up that big hill. I haven't got the stamina to do that. That's an absolute killer every time I go up there. I always feel like I'm rewarding myself with a pint by the time I get up there. But what's your thoughts on Friday night? I don't know what to expect from West Brom. They're a good side. They're a really good side. But they've got a new manager coming in, and they've got a new manager coming in for a reason.
Yeah, well, that's it. They're languishing in a position in the league that they don't want to be in. The last 4 home games have won 3 of them. I think Bristol City beat them. So it's not going to be easy, but I'm confident with having seen the way we've played recently. I hope that come Friday we might have Strelic back. We might see the introduction of Castledine, whatever way you wish to pronounce it. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's like you say, it's a new manager, so their players will be out to impress. But I go there with a bit of confidence, if I'm honest. I think we stand a good chance. And if we do pick up 3 points, it'll be a big marker and a lot of pressure on the teams who play on Saturday.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well. I'm not a fan of Friday night football. I still feel that it should be Saturday 3 o'clock. I always have and always will. But it does put a marker out. If we can get a win on Friday night, 3 points behind Coventry. Coventry have got Leicester, I think, on Saturday as well. Saturday lunchtime. Because obviously they're starting to feel the pinch of the amount of games that they're getting. So it's a huge opportunity. What are you making of Friday's fixture, Jacob?
Maybe a tough game. They've been quite decent at home all season. It's been their away form that's let them down. I was quite worried about James Morrison taking the game because he generally steadies the ship when he goes in his interim. He generally does okay. Now they've got a new manager. I'm actually a bit more hopeful. Just in terms of it, not much time in terms of preparation for the new manager. I believe he was involved with Wilfred Nancy a bit, so let's hope he takes some tips off him and we'll probably win. But yeah, tough match. I think they've got some good players. I think they're probably in not a false position because, like I said, I'm not going to parrot Jonathan Woodgate's line of the table lies because it doesn't. You deserve to be where you are, but I think they've got better players to be higher in the league, definitely. So be a tight game, but I do feel it's a game we have to win. And again, we can use that advantage of it being on the Friday. Let's put more pressure on Coventry and Ipswich. Because I haven't been impressed with Coventry for the last 6 games I've watched them. I think the wheels are coming off a little bit, Coventry. So if we can have more pressure in terms of closing that gap. Ipswich have started winning games, obviously, which is very important. Still not blowing teams away when they're winning. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sold on Ipswich yet, but if they can carry it on over the next 5 games, then there might be a banker for the top 2. But I keep a close eye on Coventry because they haven't been great recently.
Oh, that's you turning into a meme if Coventry run away with the league. But I mean, you are right. There has been a few shaky performances from Coventry. Obviously, they did have the gap, above 10 points. I mean, it's down to 6 now, so we have made inroads into that. But yeah, what are you expecting from Friday's fixture, Yusuf?
Yeah, echoing what sort of John and Jacob have both said, in the fact that I think got to go in with a bit of confidence in the game. I think we do need a win. Obviously, the Christmas period wasn't the best run of results. I know we beat Southampton; that was a good result, but I just hope that run of fixtures against sort of Bristol City and Blackburn, Hull, and Derby. Those 4 games don't come back and haunt us at the end of the season, because you look back and you think that, you know, 12 potential 12 points, only got 1 point out of that fixture list. No goals scored. It really, really poor set of results. But yeah, I think we've got a big week: West Brom, Stoke, and then Preston. If we can get 7 points in that week, I think that would be that'd be fantastic. So let's start off with a good result against West Brom.
Absolutely right. I couldn't say it better myself. Yeah, let's start off with a good result, and results are what we try and predict. We do a really bad job of it, but we do give it a go. So I'll start with you, JD. Your prediction for the game against West Brom on Friday night?
3-1 Borough.
Wow.
And I'm gonna say we'll get a goal from Sammy Silvera.
That'd be a good price. Yusuf, come to you.
I think 2-0 clean sheet. Tommy Conway to score.
There you go. Jacob, come to you. Fancy Tommy Conway to score?
I wouldn't bank on it. 2-1 Borough. I'll say Hayden Hackney to score again.
Okay. I'm going to go 1-0. Sometimes we find it a difficult place at times to go there and win and score 2-3 goals. So I'll go 1-0. And I think I'm going to go for a defender. I think Dale Fry will start and he'll score. I'll go for Josh's special 1-0 Dale Fry. So yeah, all 4 of us going for a Borough win. Hopefully we do get a Borough win, because it's it. Get us back on track in the league. Big opportunity before the weekend's football starts. Yeah, huge chance to get stuck into, like you say, a poor West Brom team. It's not the home form that's letting them down. It's the away form, not winning any of their 11 games away from home. That's why they got rid of Ryan Mason. So yeah, we just got to do what we do. You know, that's what we do. So yeah. Why are you grinning?
Oh, my daughter's just winding me up. She said, "I'm going to walk behind you and pull her face," but she didn't. She walked behind me, but she didn't pull her face. Yeah, I mean, it's another massive following we're taking on a Friday night live game. You know, people are going to have to take time off work to travel down. So absolutely fantastic support. So I hope we're in as good voice as we were, against Fulham. So yeah. Looking forward to it so much.
Yes, it should be it's another really good following for the boys in red and white. So I'll be watching again. Hopefully I'll hear more tomorrow about how long it can be before I can come back. So
will we see you there, Yusuf?
Indeed, yep, I will be there.
Good lad.
There we go. Right at the front.
Well, I hope you get good. I hope you get good news. I hope you get good news. Jacko, back in that North Stand soon.
Yeah, me too. I miss it so much. So I'm praying to be back as quickly as I can. So yes, on that note, we'll leave it there. Jacob, John, Yusuf, thank you so much for popping on to have a chat with me. Yeah, always good to catch up on a Monday night after the weekend's football. And to you lovely people who listen, comment, like, subscribe, get involved. Thank you so much. I always appreciate anyone that gets in touch with us and all the comments that we get left. So yeah, keep them coming, and we'll talk again next week. Hopefully with another 3 points in the bag. So arrivederci, up the Borough.